Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct a blueprint for something really interesting: how to take a piece of land that's just sitting there and turn it into a high-value, profitable development. Ready? Let's dive in.
So, this is the big question, right? The one at the very heart of the model we're exploring. It kind of flips the script on how we think about land, not just as something you own, but as an asset that can actively work for you. And the answer this blueprint gives us? It's a business model called a land development joint venture, or JV for short.
All right, so let's get right into the nuts and bolts of it. How do you unlock all that potential value from a piece of land that's basically just there? Well, this whole blueprint starts with one simple but powerful idea: partnership.
Okay, so at its core, this joint venture model is all about a strategic partnership. It's a really clear division of labor. You've got one partner, the landowner, who provides the raw material, the land itself, and then you have the other partner, the developer, who brings everything else to the table, the expertise, the capital, the whole shebang to actually transform it. This kind of you do this, I do that relationship is totally fundamental to making the whole thing work.
And what's so crucial here is how clearly this partnership lays out who does what right from day one. Look at this. The landowner's job? It's super focused. Just provide the land. That's your main contribution. Meanwhile, the developer? They're the ones who take on all the heavy lifting. We're talking the actual execution, the market analysis, sales, the entire project management. See, it's designed so each party just plays to their strengths. It's a pretty smart setup.
But hold on, before any contracts are signed, before a single shovel even touches the dirt, the blueprint demands something it calls intelligent planning. And this isn't just a quick glance, not at all. We're talking about a super detailed, comprehensive feasibility study to map out the entire project's potential. And this checklist gives you a great idea of what that evaluation really covers. It's all about asking the big questions up front. Is there actually a market for this here? What's the absolute best thing we could build on this piece of land to get the highest return? And maybe most importantly, does this grand vision actually line up with what the landowner wants? This whole first stage is designed to get rid of as much risk as possible right from the start. Okay, section 2. So let's say the project gets the green light. It's feasible. What happens next? How do you turn that potential into a secure, formal agreement? Let's look at how we go from just ideas to actual legally binding commitments. This quote really nails the philosophy behind the whole model. Think about it. A property development can take years. So the foundation can't just be a stack of legal papers. It absolutely has to be built on real trust and a shared goal of creating something valuable for the long haul. And here's the roadmap for how you actually build that trust. Now, pay attention to the order here because it's important. Step 1 is getting on the same page about how you'll share the rewards. This could be a straight-up profit split, say 60-40 on the revenue, or it could be an area share where the landowner gets to keep a few of the finished apartments. The key thing is deciding on this critical detail before you even start writing up the formal agreement. Why? Because it stops big fights from happening later on. Now, this is really important. The whole idea is to build a super secure, safe framework before a single brick is laid. That joint venture agreement, it's not just some formality you have to check off a list. No way. It is the absolute core document that spells out every single role, every responsibility, every deadline. It's there to protect everybody involved. And the safety checks go even deeper than that. Before you execute, you do this huge technical and legal audit. We're talking about testing the soil to make sure you can build on it, surveying the land to get the boundaries exactly right, and doing a deep dive on the legal side to make sure the ownership is clean and everything's compliant. It's like a belt and suspenders approach. You do everything you can to make sure there are no nasty surprises waiting for you. All right, section 3. The agreement is signed, it's rock solid. Now the focus totally shifts from paperwork and planning to actually building something. So in this model, this is where the developer partner really steps up and takes the wheel. They handle the entire lifecycle. We're talking about managing the architects, navigating that crazy maze of government permits, overseeing all the construction, and then on top of all that, running the whole marketing and sales campaign. This is where you really see their execution role come to life. Yeah, this is the magic moment, right? The transformation phase. This is where the blueprint on paper becomes a real building. It's that whole journey from just an empty plot of land to a real, tangible asset that's ready for the market, whether that's apartments or offices or shops. The one and only goal here is to create a ton of value where before there was basically nothing. Okay, on to the final section.
turning all that hard work into revenue. This is the payoff. Construction's finished, the marketing machine is running. So how does this brand new project actually translate into cold, hard returns for the landowner who kicked this whole thing off?
Well, the process is designed to end exactly the way it was planned from the beginning. As the units sell, the money comes in, and that money gets shared out precisely according to that transparent agreement that was made way back at the start. It doesn't matter if it's a cash payout or getting the keys to new apartments. The goal is simple. No surprises. Just a clear, predictable, and smooth handover.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. For the landowner, the promise of this model is getting all the financial benefits of a massive development project, but without any of the headaches. You get to completely hand off the incredible complexity, the risk, and all the day-to-day management that goes with it. And this slide just wraps it all up so nicely. These are the core principles of the whole blueprint. See? It all starts with being crystal clear on how the money works. It's built on a foundation of technical and legal security right from day one. And with a professional team managing everything from start to finish, the entire process is laser-focused on one thing, getting the absolute maximum value out of that piece of land.
So what is the true potential hidden in the ground beneath our feet? Well, this model offers one really compelling answer. It makes you see land not just as property you hang on to, but as a real platform. A platform for partnership, for development, and at the end of the day, for unlocking a whole world of hidden potential.